Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama. Welcome to our podcast with our returning guest, Rascal Family's General Phoenix.
Yay!
Hey guys, I'm back.
Now today we're covering the sequel to Balto with the movie Wolf Quest.
One of Phoenix's favorite movies ever. Now, Balto.
Definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah. Now, Balto and his wife, Jenna, have a litter of pups up for adoption, and all are easily adopted except for Aleu, who looks more like her part wolf dad. Balto tells Aleu about her heritage, and angry and upset, she runs away. But then Balto and Aleu embark on a journey of adventure and self-discovery. But,
and before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get updates on future podcasts and World of Paws videos.
And more visitors.
Yes.
Yep.
So, before we start on the movie, tell us, Phoenix, why Balto is your favorite movie of all time and the trilogy itself.
Well, honestly, when I saw the Balto movies back when I was a lot younger, I think I was 9 years old when I saw the films. I started to see the first film, and it became one of my all-time favorite animated films because I loved how adventuring and relatable it is, and I like how some of the characters get development as well, especially Balto, and I love the relationship between Balto and Jenna. And I can tell after I saw the first film, the second film came, and I loved the second film way too much. Aleu was just one of the best characters and best daughter characters of Balto as well.
Awesome. Now we want to also let you guys know that there's a nice star-studded voice acting cast for this movie as well. We'll start with Aleu, voiced by Lacey Charbet, who we know for a lot of roles in animation, including on Young Justice.
Right. You have Jodie Benson as Jenna. You have Mark Hamill as Niju. And this time you now have Melissa Marsh as Balto instead of Kevin Bacon.
Right. Why do you think they made the change?
I think the reason they changed the voice probably because the first film wasn't doing good at the box office, but it was successful when it was on DVD and VHS, so I think they decided to get a different voice actor to do Balto because Kevin Bacon wouldn't return because he had a lot of films to do.
Oh, okay.
His schedule.
Wow, okay.
All right, did not know that.
That makes a lot of sense. Didn't know that.
So, yes, also in here, there's also a little bit of a casting change, not just for the voice actors, but just the characters they have in the movie. The large range of the sled dogs and the villain Steel and the humans are kind of pretty much all taken out this time around. It's mainly focused on Balto and his daughter and the family. That's pretty much it. They don't even, you don't even see any humans in here at all. It's all wolves. So it was actually an interesting idea to have what would happen if someone else had the same problem as him of being part wolf, part dog. And this case is where she ends up looking almost fully wolf instead of part. And it was a little more stand out because you could tell with the other pups, they all look like the mom. But specifically with the red fur, and then here she looked like the dad. She looked specifically like a wolf, and you could tell that there was sort of the subconscious thing in there when they had a few humans on screen when they let them go for adoption, and none of the humans picked the one that looked like a wolf. So it looks like unfortunately what they were fearing was already there because they still had their sort of doubts about wolves in general with this franchise still.
Right.
Yeah, that is true.
And you know what's really interesting about this storyline is this actually happens quite a lot in the canine variety or in dogs, where you'll have a litter of puppies, and even with our dog Rascal, you'll have a lot of the dogs look like one parent and then one looks like the other. For example, our dog Rascal, the other three puppies have green eyes and gray eyes and blue eyes, and they look more like a Chihuahua. And he took after his mom, the Pomeranian, He's got big, giant brown eyes, real long, pretty hair, and he looks almost exactly like his mom looked, and the other three look like the dad. So it happens.
Right.
It actually happens. So it's interesting that they put that in this animated story and made it a part of the story.
Right.
And then it also, as Phoenix says, then maybe humans are able to relate to it in terms of teen angst and maybe one
that was in
being
there.
more one parent like the other parent, but wanting to be more like the other parent, which of course we can't choose.
So yeah,
as we are.
Right.
Yes, that is true.
Oh, and they also have in here where it is already stated in the beginning where she was angry with her dad because he never told her she was part wolf. She assumed that she just looked like a dog. Well, she's actually a pretty big dog, so somebody should have said something. Right. But they kind of kept this a secret from her for a life until a hunter tried to shoot her, and she thought he wanted to play with her because she didn't know that humans thought wolves were dangerous. So in one part, you could probably understand why she was really upset, because if she had known this, she would have known that, you know, there were dangers with humans. They weren't all there to just play.
Right.
And that's when it turns into the self-discovery part where she has to find out who she is. I guess that's why it ends up being called the Wolf Quest, because it starts ending up being like a sort of like a Native American themed movie with the music and the dream sequences, and she has to find her pack because she's part wolf, but we're gonna ignore the dog part. The first movie we had to ignore the wolf part. Now we're gonna ignore the dog part. Nope, you're just wolf. That's it. The dog part doesn't exist. You're just full wolf now. Go join the bag. It was like, okay, well, I guess that could work.
Wow, just wow.
So what did you think of that that challenge for her, Phoenix?
I honestly say for that challenge, I can relate to that because, yeah, I know that she seems different from others and that people just don't like the way she is, but I can totally relate to that. I've been here before, but she's still one of my favorite characters. Aleu is just one of the best daughter characters from Balto in the sequels. I just really love that.
And she's also a very strong character.
Yeah.
You know,
she's a very strong character to know who she really is.
And she knew the answer she wanted. She knew she wanted to go find the answers. She didn't sit by and just cry and go, well, it's me. It's like, okay, I want the answers. I'm going to go find them.
Right.
And then she set about with her dad and got them. And when she got them, then she also was strong enough to be a decision maker and said, okay, this is how I'm going to live now. See you later, Dad.
Oh, wow.
Well, but at least she still loves her father.
Oh, that's
true.
She did promise to be back one day.
Absolutely,
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
And you know, it's not too far off because we're kind of thinking like, hey, you can't really do that. But like, remember, here's the thing. They're wolves, not humans. So, you know, for some of these animals, they do let their pups go out into the wild like pretty early on. It doesn't take years and stuff like humans. So her going out like this does make sense because around this time, wolves would go out into the wild on their own to find a pack or be on their own. So it just came a little bit of a shock because of all the drama and stuff going on in the story. But I was like, okay, this makes sense. It's almost like they were saying like she was being held back. I mean, held back in school. She was being held back from her destiny or her tribe, the Wolf Quest thing, because of holding her back and telling her the truth.
Yes, that is true. And I still kind of felt bad for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you understand he wanted to protect her because look how the dad was treated in the first film.
Right.
And you know, I mean, he didn't get abused or anything, but you understand that there was sort of this prejudice they had against him, and he didn't want her to have the same thing. The only difference is it was even more dangerous because then they would actually try to hunt. Instead of just ridicule, they would just like try to take him out. So you partially understood why he was so hesitant on it.
And I think it's interesting how there was a different challenge going on in the first movie. It was his, and now it's his daughter's. And then the third movie we have yet to see, what the challenge is in that one.
Right.
Yes.
And you also have this subplot that comes towards the end when she finds this other wolf tribe that's in danger of disbanding, or it pretty much has been a traitor with the Mark Hamill wolf, Ninju.
Oh,
of course, it's Mark Hamill voicing the traitor wolf, but
the Joker wolf.
Not just Joker, also Lord Ozai from Avatar: The Last Airbender series.
Yes.
Right. And it's like, oh.
Doubly villainous.
Right? Prepare for trouble.
Make it double.
So, yeah, for here, he wants to take control of the tribe. Well, they use like tribe and pack, so that's the parallel, that he thinks he could be a better leader because the tribe's in danger because there is a lack of food around them and there's more wolf packs coming, so they think they need to relocate somewhere else so it'd be safer for them. And Nushu's like, no, we need to stay and fight. You're being a coward because you won't stand up to them. I'm gonna be the leader since you won't do it. It's like, of course you got this. And it's sort of reminiscent of like when they had the Alpha and Omega movies there. There's always a wolf fighting to become the pack leader. So that's what ends up happening here when Aleu ends up finding this tribe, and it helps her discover who she is when she meets them and in resolving this conflict.
True.
To me, it seemed like the first movie you were presented with the story of Balto and again the challenges he had, and it was more of an adventure and just a feel-good movie where you see how he ends up being the hero that he is. In this second movie, it was a different type of challenge, as I mentioned, and it seemed more of a movie on lessons that they wanted to convey through the characters in this movie. Not only lessons as far as relating to each other, but lessons each individual should learn about themselves. So it had a little more serious tone than the first movie. What do you guys think the lessons were, or one of the lessons were presented in this movie versus, how the first movie was presented to us? Phoenix?
I think the lesson is that you always have to just don't let things get to you all the time. It's just always accept for who you are, for who you really are, and what you really come from. It doesn't matter what others think. Just be proud to know that you are part of that thing, and that you're not like the others at all. You are different, but you should just accept that you're different.
What do you think, Rascal?
I think this is pretty much what Phoenix is saying, that embrace yourself, because she was angry that she was part wolf. She was angry because no one wanted her because she looked like a wolf, and they thought they were gonna be vengeful and attacking people. So she thinks that's the reason why she can't get adopted. And then she goes on this journey and finds out, this is a part of herself to be proud of. If she couldn't find a place with the humans, she found a place with the other wolves, where she still had a family and belonging. It's like a family, regardless of blood or name or anything, there's always a family out there. So I think it was like, accepting this is who you are, and like you say, you can't choose your parents, and embracing it rather than being angry or fearful of it.
Okay. Well, I agree with both of you, and I also think it's about knowing yourself. And knowing yourself can come to have a lot of factors. And part of it is knowing yourself clearly and strongly and not being affected by what others may think, including when those thoughts and opinions are negative or are meant to tear you down or to make you think less of yourself. And on top of that, finding your own path, finding your own way, finding what it is you want to do and where you want to go and whom you want to be. And that decision being yours and yours alone, and not letting that be affected by what others tell you whom they think you should be. It's all about you. For each and every individual, it's all about what you want. And it's not selfish, because each and every person should be living the life they want, choosing whom they want to be and doing what they want to do. And then on that journey, you also are by being yourself, being whom you are, and choosing, you know, what you were meant to be and whom you were meant to be, you make others' lives better. You bring them joy, and you light up the world with just being uniquely you, as Phoenix said initially. So yeah.
Yeah.
So, tell us what's in store for Balto 3.
Oh, for the third film.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you'll definitely love the third film as well, because it will focus on Balto, and you know, with Plains, Mail, and Boris finding a love interest, and it will focus on Balto's son, Cody.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
And so, what's the name of the third movie?
The third film, it will be a lot more fun and definitely more adventuring, and I know that there is a lesson as well.
Awesome.
All
And
right.
tell us what the name of the third film is, please.
Oh yeah, it's called Balto 3 Wings of Change. That came out in 2005.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. So, if you guys have seen Balto Wolfcrest, let us know what you think in the comments below. If you haven't, then rush out and find it on your streaming platform or on demand, or buy the movie and give it a watch, because it really is a great movie with some wonderful lessons for you.
Oh, and don't forget to be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get updates on future podcasts and World of Paws videos.
And let's thank our returning guest, General Phoenix. Woo!
Yeah, it was a pleasure to come back for your podcast. I'm
Thank-
definitely excited for more, including Naruto.
Thank you, and thank you for recommending we watch this. So far, every recommendation you've given us has been awesome, so keep up the great work.
Yes.
So with that, we bid you adieu.
Yes.
Happy Spooktober.
Yes, I'm Rascal Entertainment.
I'm Mom Entertainment.
And I'm General Phoenix.
Have a toontastic day.
Peace.
And reporters sitting flashing lights, trying to walk around, man, who the hell are you? What you wanna do? My man, it's on you. Man, it's on you. Met her in my dreams, she was my queen. A castle in the mountaintops, rivers and streams. Plucking sunlight from the sky in my pocket, give it to you later on in the